The morning sun, usually a cheerful cascade through the kitchen window, felt muted, casting long, mournful shadows across the familiar checkered tiles. Amy Duggar King, typically a whirlwind of vibrant energy, moved with a slow, deliberate grace, her hands tracing the rim of her coffee mug as if seeking warmth from the cool ceramic. The aroma of brewing coffee, normally a comforting scent, seemed to hang heavy in the air, a silent prelude to the storm she knew was brewing. It had been weeks since the silence began to settle, not the peaceful quiet of a household asleep, but a hollow, echoing stillness that reverberated through the very foundations of her life. Her bright, infectious laugh, a signature part of her personality, had become a rarity, replaced by a polite, almost fragile smile. Friends and family, ever observant, had noticed. Calls went unanswered, visits were politely curtailed, and the lively banter that once filled her social media feeds dwindled to sparse, cryptic updates. "Amy, are you all right? You've been so quiet," her mother, Deanna, had asked just yesterday, her voice laced with concern. Amy had deflected, murmuring something about being tired, about needing a break, but the truth was a lead weight in her chest, a secret so immense it threatened to crack her open. It had happened on a crisp autumn afternoon, a day that promised pumpkin patches and apple cider, a day meant for joy. Amy and Dylan had been brimming with excitement. After years of hoping, a second child was on the way. The news had been kept a precious secret, a tiny, budding hope nurtured quietly between them. They envisioned two little ones, a brother or sister for their son Daxton, filling their home with even more laughter and chaos. The routine prenatal appointment had started normally. The whir of the ultrasound machine, the cool gel on her belly, the excited anticipation in her heart. Then the doctor's smile had faltered. The easy conversation ceased. A deep frown creased his brow as he moved the transducer back and forth, his gaze fixed on the screen, searching. Her breath caught in her throat. She knew that look. It was the look of someone delivering news they wished they didn't have to. "Amy," he had begun, his voice softer than usual, "I'm not seeing what I expected to see. The baby, there's no heartbeat." The world had tilted, sound receding as if a plug had been pulled from the universe. The silence in the room was deafening, punctuated only by the frantic thudding of her own heart. No heartbeat. Two words that shredded 1,000 dreams. Two words that painted her vibrant world in shades of gray. Dylan, ever her anchor, had gripped her hand, his knuckles white. She could feel his silent despair, a mirror of her own. They had walked out of that clinic in a daze, the autumn sun now a cruel mockery of joy. The pumpkin patch, the apple cider, the dreams of a growing family, all shattered into dust. The weeks that followed were a blur of numb existence. There were the medical appointments, the quiet tears shed in the dark, the forced smiles for Daxton, who was too young to fully comprehend the heavy atmosphere. Amy tried to be strong, to find comfort in faith, to lean on Dylan, but a part of her felt irrevocably broken. The vibrant, open Amy, who shared so much of her life with the world, retreated into herself, building walls around her wounded heart. The problem, she knew, was that a public life demanded public explanations. Her followers, her family, her friends, they all expected the usual updates, the cheerful anecdotes, the candid glimpses into her world. But how could she share this? How could she articulate a pain so profound it defied words? The very thought of crafting a social media post, of facing the inevitable flood of sympathy and questions, felt like an insurmountable task. The rumors, inevitably, had started. "Amy and Dylan seem off. Is there trouble in paradise? She's barely posting anymore." The internet, a place where kindness and cruelty often dance hand in hand, buzzed with speculation. Her cousin Jill had called, her voice gentle. "Amy, are the rumors true? Are you and Dylan okay?" Amy had managed a vague, non-committal answer, her throat tight with unshed tears. She hated the speculation, but she felt trapped, unable to deny it without revealing the devastating truth.
Today, however, was different. She couldn't hide any longer. The silence was suffocating her, and the distance it created between her and the people she loved was becoming unbearable. With a shaky breath, Amy picked up her phone, her fingers hovering over the social media app. This wasn't going to be a quick post. This required honesty, vulnerability, and immense courage. She started typing, slowly at first, then with the growing resolve. Each word was a tiny step out of the darkness, a painful release. "Dear friends and family," she began, her fingers trembling slightly. "For the past few weeks, a quiet storm has raged within our hearts, and I've struggled to find the words to share it. Dylan and I have been walking through a season of profound grief, a sorrow we never imagined we would experience. We were so excited to share the news that we were expecting our second child, a little sibling for Daxton. We dreamed of tiny fingers and toes, of sleepless nights filled with love, of a fuller, louder home." She paused, a tear finally escaping and tracing a path down her cheek. She took a deep breath and continued. "But a few weeks ago, at a routine prenatal appointment, we received the most heartbreaking news. Our sweet baby's heart had stopped beating. Our dreams, our hopes, our little one, gone. The pain is indescribable, a raw, deep ache that feels like it will never truly heal. We are shattered, heartbroken, and trying our best to navigate this unimaginable loss." Amy hesitated, her gaze drifting to the window, where the sun was finally breaking through the clouds. She thought of the rumors, the whispers. She knew she had to address them, not with anger, but with truth. "Let me be clear. This immense grief has taken its toll on us individually, but it has not broken us as a couple. If anything, it has forged an even deeper bond between Dylan and me. He has been my unwavering strength, my steadfast comfort, and my partner in this sorrow. We are clinging to each other, to our faith, and to the joy that our precious Daxton brings us every single day." She wiped her eyes, feeling a sense of release with each word. "Grief is a complex journey, and ours is just beginning. There will be good days and bad days, moments of raw pain and moments of quiet solace. We ask for your understanding, your patience, and your prayers during this incredibly difficult time. Please, let kindness be your guide. Instead of speculation, offer compassion. Instead of judgment, offer grace. We are not looking for answers, only for healing and the space to grieve privately as a family. Thank you for your love, your support, and for respecting our privacy as we navigate this profound loss." With a heavy but resolute sigh, Amy clicked post. The world, she knew, would now react. The silence would be broken, replaced by an outpouring of sympathy and, perhaps inevitably, more questions. But this time, the narrative was hers. She had faced her fear, stepped into her truth, and shared her raw vulnerability. Within minutes, her phone began to buzz with notifications. Messages flooded in, heartfelt condolences, shared stories of loss, virtual hugs, and messages of unwavering support. Her sister, Jessa, was among the first to call, her voice thick with emotion. "Ugh, Amy, I'm so sorry. We're all here for you, whatever you need." Deanna was next, her mother's voice breaking with shared pain and fierce love. The weight, though still present, felt lighter. The act of sharing, of putting her grief into words, had lifted a corner of the immense burden she had been carrying. It didn't erase the pain, but it diffused the suffocating isolation. She looked at Dylan, who had come to stand beside her, silently reading the comments. He wrapped an arm around her, pulling her close. "You're so brave, Ames," he murmured, kissing the top of her head. "We are," she corrected, leaning into his embrace. "We are." The road ahead was long, fraught with tears and moments of despair. The emptiness of a dream unfulfilled would always linger. But now they would walk that road together, hand in hand, no longer shrouded in the lonely silence of a private sorrow. The echoes of silence had been replaced by the quiet, comforting murmurs of love and understanding, a testament to resilience and the enduring power of truth.